So in today's video, I'm going to be building this house that was seen in my last short. I'll put it up here. And I got a lot of positive comments in that video, but one stood out to me specifically. It was this guy asking for a tutorial on how to build it. So today I'm going to be going through how I built this house. So let's hop right in. So to keep this nice and simple, I loaded into a super flat world here, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So basically, how I built this house was I wanted to keep it simple enough. So one of the key things a lot of people will tell you is to find your reference for your build or whatever you're making. And so my reference was a video I was watching. I was looking up videos on, different houses to build and whatnot. And I kind of got something similar with this. The main thing I saw was it was mostly how the house was built with like the roof design. My house is a little bit different, but the idea is pretty much the same. So I've seen a lot of people, they'll start, they'll tell you the best way they build it is, outlining it with wool or whatever. I didn't do that. I just kind of got right into building. I kind of laid out how I wanted it to be. And a lot of people, one of the main things a lot of people will tell you is you want depth in your build. So that's kind of where I started with. And I believe this was one higher here. Yeah, that's kind of how I started, and my plan for it was to have the roof kind of how it was, where it was long ways, and then this part right here would connect to it. And I did that because I thought I didn't want it to be like the other house I built, the first one I made, that first video. And so yeah, let's hop right in. Okay, so what I've done was in Axiom, I have gotten this house, and I'm going to paste it into the world. And I'm going to kind of, I guess, build off of reference for how I made it. And what I was meaning is the way that this goes with the house and how this part of the roof connects to it. But yeah, so you can see I did do a little interior. I didn't do that in the video just because it does take up a good bit of time. And it's kind of hard to do those time lapses in the middle. So basically how I'm going to start is I'm just going to kind of do the plank outline and how I did that. So I wanted to keep it nice and simple and wanted to add depth to everything as well. And yeah, so I wanted to have a kind of like, my idea was kind of like a cabin-ish kind of house. And I feel like this kind of captures that a little bit and it works. The only downside is it, like for example, the inside, I don't really like when windows do that, but I think it works a lot of times because you're just seeing the outside of the house. So then the next thing I did was I just extended this down by 3 blocks twice. So you can have these windows here. And then on the corner here, there was another window. So then I went down 3, extended this up, and then I connected everything. And then I went 2 on the side here. So you want to go another 3, connect it up, and then add in your window. And a big tip I saw and that I've been implementing in almost every single one of my houses is for your windows and door frames. If you put either stairs at the top or bottom, I like doing the top, especially for door frames. It does work at the bottom as well. It kind of depends on the house you're doing. Like for example, in my fisherman house, or I don't know the exact name that would be, I did the stairs on the bottom of the window and that ended up looking nice. So then we're just going to come around to this back side. We're going to go up, across 3, up, across 3, fill in our windows. Now the only thing here that was a little bit kind of difficult to figure out, because you can see this doesn't really line up, but if I were to go across 3, then it won't line up well. I just ended up going across and having these line up, and it just came across like this. And then I just ended up doing 2 windows here. You could do one big one, but I think the 2 little ones look nice. And then just replace that there. Now we're going to come to this side. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, build up, connect, across 3, build up, connect, then add in the windows. Okay, and then the same thing across 3, up, connect, across 3, up, connect, then add in your windows. Right there, I added in this window, and then we're just going to come up and then connect. And then we can just go straight across, then add in this window. So the next step is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to go in and add the glass. I've been using glass panes. It works better if you do the stair in glass panes. Otherwise, if you just did regular glass, it'll look kind of weird. And glass panes look better, in my opinion, anyway. So that's what we're going to use. So we've now added in all the windows. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to fill in this space. You can kind of do it however you want. I know sometimes people will have it filled in like this. I prefer to just go ahead and fill everything in all the way. And then right here, I just realized I did this wrong. So what I can do is, because I'm using Axiom, I can just move this back by 1, which is really useful. I definitely recommend using it. That's how I also do my roofs a lot of the time. And then there we go. So then what I did for the ceiling and floor, I used spruce planks, and I actually used an Axiom tool called Stack. So how you do that is, once you have Axiom installed, you're going to go to this 10th slot, hold Alt, and then find Stack. Then what I did is I placed in 1, selected the first point, the second point, I scrolled, and then there, filled that in, came over here, fill it in, scroll all the way down. There's the ceiling. Then we can go on the inside, place one here. First point, smear. Probably should have done it on this right side, but it's fine because it still works. Then come to the corner, place it in, smear, and bring it all the way down. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the roof in. Now there are multiple ways you can do this. And it also depends on what kind of blocks you want to use. I was using cobbled deep slate stairs and slabs. Originally, I did the kind of tall roof design. If you watch that video, I'll have a card up on the screen. It doesn't look that good for this style of house. So how I did this one was, it was a normal roof coming up like this, extending down, and then you're just going to bring it up to this point. Once you get to here, how I connected it, it was one down and then a slab like this. Another thing you do is you could just do a slab. I think it looks better when you do it this way, but it is up to you. So then what I did was I just filled in one more layer right here and then put in the slab like that. And then how I actually copied this roof design all the way down is I used the smear tool. And you'll notice once I connect it, there isn't really a good way to extend it, meaning because if you scroll, then it moves. So what we're going to do is we reselect the points, and then using the middle mouse button, so the scroll wheel, click it in, that selects it, and you can smear this all the way down. And then you can do the same thing for this right here. And then the same thing for this. I'm just going to bring it to here, place in this, and bring it all the way down. And then we're just going to fill in the rest over here. And then add in the under part. So then there's this part of the roof. This one was done simply just by coming across and kind of doing the same thing, bringing it up to the center point. And then the same thing, just like this. Have this come across. It should seamlessly connect to the stairs. Then I just had this come across and connect. You may need to break and replace the stairs on this part of the roof, because I think when we use the Axiom mod to actually have them connect, I don't know why, but it doesn't automatically update. It could just be because of the way the stairs are orientated. Yeah, so then you just fill in this roof. And then the biggest struggle for me was trying to get this front part to look good, because obviously with the way I've done the depth, it looks fine like this. I did think about putting in stairs this way, and I don't think I actually did this on the original build, but you can just fill it in with this, and that'll end up looking fine. And you could just get a block and go like that. That ends up looking fine. On the original house that I did, I didn't do anything, but you can't really tell because I didn't get that close to the house. Here, I just filled this in, and then on the inside here, I just filled this in with wood. And then the same thing on this side. And then that is the exterior of the house. Then what I did for decorations is I grabbed lanterns. I put it around each kind of corner on the house except for the inner corners, just for some light. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And then I'm pretty sure on the back, I did one just in this middle slot right here. This just adds light to the whole thing, allowing you to actually see. Then I grabbed some azalea leaves. I thought about doing some with the flowers in it, but I thought this was fine, and just went around the entirety of the house, adding these around the outside. This is personal preference. If you want to do this, you don't have to. I thought it looked good for the build I did. Then for the door, it was just an oak door placed on this side so that it went with the stair right there. And then for this, I couldn't really figure out how I wanted to do the front because that looked weird. So what I ended up doing instead was leaves there, and then I grabbed a pot and then put it under it, and that looks fine. Then for interior, I kept it pretty simple. I grabbed some stairs and then a slab, brought this down, adding like a little entrance walkway. Then right here is where I split the place in half. Then added a door for the bedroom. I kept the bedroom pretty simple. I just went with a blue bed. And then what I've been doing recently is I've been using like barrels for like nightstands. And then this is something I've seen a lot of people do, but you grab a sea lantern and then the dragon egg, and then you place it in this way, and it looks like a lamp. Then a door. Then over here, I did the kitchen, and I did that with a crafting table, furnace, lanterns, barrels. And then obviously, you know, you got to put a fridge in there. And lantern here. And then this was the kitchen. This is all the interior design I really did. You could also probably add like a painting for, I don't know, if you want to do like, not like this. If you want to do like a TV almost. I don't know if they do them that big, but yeah, so you can add like a TV. I always like doing this one, and the rest is pretty much personal preference for you. And that is how I built this house. It was a little difficult for me at first, and then one of the other things is I did use Axiom to kind of do the terrain and stuff, as you saw in the world, which I might go back in a later video and fix up the terrain of everything. But yeah, this is how I did this house. Let me know if you guys want to see more tutorials down in the comment section below. Until then, see you guys next time.